My name is Jennifer Wayne, and I'm excited to welcome you to Motivating Moments. Your host, Sean, is here to help you reach your highest potential by sharing stories that inspire and fuel your inner positivity. Think of it like a power play, where each episode gives you the advantage to overcome obstacles and score personal victories. The positivity we create here is contagious, passing to your friends, family, and community. Let's keep passing that positivity and shoot for a brighter, more positive future together.
Good evening, listeners. Welcome to Motivating Moments, Season 1, Episode 5. And then I'll put Garrett, you are on the line. Say hi to all your listeners.
Hi.
You know, Garrett, you're still the most views out of the 4 episodes so far. We have over 100 views.
Really?
Yeah, and you've got like 45 of them.
How do you know that?
I looked.
Advanced data analytics?
No, it just says it when you open the video. It says how many views.
Are you going to edit it and add the intro with whatever her name is?
Yeah, all the listeners just heard Jen's intro.
What are you going to are you going to edit the video?
No, I just played the intro. You missed that part.
You know what? We should do a part 2 in like a couple weeks.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so we're going to add... Our next speaker is this crazy guy. He's like the most interesting person in the world. He's from Seattle. I met him in Spokane. He's done about everything. Hey, Rick.
Hang on just a second, man. These people took so long to make a damn sandwich. It was ridiculous. Like 15 minutes, I had to wait for them to have their sandwich done. I'm like, are you joking me? This guy's probably all pissed off. He's like, where's my sandwich? And then I have to get onto the highway. You know what? I'm gonna plug this into my car so that I can use the big screen. Okay.
Okay, so Garrett's also on the call because he wants to meet you and he wants to do your movie. You ready?
Yeah.
All right, let's bring him in. Hey, Garrett.
Sean.
All right, Garrett, I want you to meet the most interesting man in the world, Dr. Richard Young.
Yeah, that might be an over introduction, but I'll take the embellishments.
Nice to meet you. Yeah, nice to meet you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. Great.
There you go. Yeah, I think when Sean wanted us to meet each other last time he visited me here in California. We drove down to San Diego for a Padres game.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, they did pretty good this year. I mean, for a moment there, we thought that they were actually going to make something of themselves, but true to form, they disappointed. So at least they're staying consistent. So that's what's good.
Wow.
Hey.
Consistently disappointing.
No. Sean, you were rooting on the Padres, weren't you?
Yeah. I don't like the Dodgers.
I know, and I think that they're here.
When this podcast airs, it's going to be Game 2 of the World Series.
It's true.
So this is what the podcast is all about. No, they will not.
No.
So let's recap really fast. The first 4 episodes, we've already got... Garrett, who reached out to you about marketing her movie? I can't even remember.
Dude, that's so far. Wait,
I know. Yeah. So she reached out to you to market her movie, and we didn't know who she was, but then I was like, oh wait, I know her from Georgetown. And then episode 3, my friend reached out to Dawn about her scuba diving for vets, And you know what? Hey, Rick, weren't you injured?
Wow.
When you were in the Air Force, you were injured.
Yeah, a couple of times.
Yeah, you want a free trip to Roatan?
Yeah, I'll take a free trip to anywhere.
Okay, well, guess who's going to pay for it? Summer Dawn. She has a company down there that will take vets and do scuba therapy. So you will finally get to meet my friend Summer Dawn. Yeah, this has been like 10 years in the making, remember? Yeah. All right, see? This podcast brings my friends together and they connect the dots. And one day I'll show you how I connected the dots. All right, so the next new thing on our agenda is, since this is a mental health podcast and we talk about important things for resilience, we're going to talk about what we're grateful for. Here's what I'm grateful for. So, back, I don't know how long ago it was, maybe like 4 months, there was this incident where I lost my wallet, and Garrett was there, and he was just so amazingly chill about it, so it kept me from freaking out. So that's what I'm grateful for, is having a good friend like that to just stay chill. Garrett, what are you grateful for?
John, you know what's amazing about that experience? We stayed chill. We
Yeah.
calmed down. You were like, oh, we're going to miss the game. I was like, just breathe.
Yeah.
And did we not see like 5 or 6 innings of the best baseball you've ever seen when we made it back?
Yeah, because it went to the 12th or 13th inning.
Yeah, there was a replay on a slide into third that was like as close as it can be. There was a bunch of hits back and forth. It was just a great game, too. Like, we literally didn't miss anything.
And you know what's crazy? If the Royals had won that game, the Tigers wouldn't have made the playoffs. Seattle would have made it.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. That was like the turning point in the Tigers' season.
I know,
That
that's
was
really
like
crazy.
That really was like the turning point in their season. They like really turned it on hard after that.
Wait, Garrett, is that what you're grateful for? Is that you got to see 6 innings of the game?
No, I mean, I was grateful for you being in town.
Oh, that's a good one. Can I change mine?
No, remember, I was only in town because I had surgery on my hand.
Yeah.
I was getting some pins out of my hand, so we just so happened to connect.
Yeah. That's cool. In case the audience is wondering why my background is different for episode 5, it's because I don't know how to use the camera on Zoom, and I can't get my camera to work on Zoom. So we're just using the basic laptop camera. You can see the wall of fame. All my friends are on here.
Unacceptable.
So here's what Rick looks like. Wait a second.
I'm going to have to rewatch this. I don't see it.
Hold up, Garrett. You are not. So here's Rick. This is from Rick's house in Spokane. We're reenacting the fire scene from Star Trek: The Next Generation. Darmok. Yeah, that's a good one. If you guys want to see that, then you're gonna have to write in the comments, we want to see Darmok reenactment, and we'll send it to you. So I have to apologize, Garrett. Your picture is not on this wall for some reason.
It's okay, we don't want to hurt everybody's eyes.
Hey, Rick, what are you grateful for today?
Today, since the theme today is resiliency, I am grateful for my SEER training that allowed me to have a deep sense of resiliency and resistance against difficulty, because the last time that we spoke, was it when I was back, I like literally spoke, right? Not just talked on text over email or like conversations on the phone, like through text, like actually spoke. Was it when you were was that? Excuse me. Were you still in Florida?
I believe the last time we hung out, you were. Oh my goodness.
So
We were in Florida. We were in Florida.
Yeah. So from Florida, by car to Los Angeles, then down to San Diego, then in and out of Airbnbs, then living in the car, then living in a big, huge, like 20,000 square foot mansion, and then back to living in the car to living down in TJ. That kind of lifestyle necessitates a degree of resiliency, and I'm grateful that I had that I was a SEER specialist in order to be able to brush that off like water off a duck's back.
Oh, great expression.
So now I know two people that lived in their car in San Diego. Jewel was the other. Yeah. We all know what happened to Jewel, and she turned out all right.
Yeah, so I'm hoping that I'm going to be in the category that she fits in.
We should actually get Jewel on the show because she does a lot for young adults' mental health. She has a whole foundation set up. That'd be good. And technically, she is my friend.
The uber successful from living in your car to going and becoming uber successful. Not successful by being in Uber, but like uber successful, as in greatly successful. I don't want to be successful in Uber.
I think Sean would still Uber. I think he enjoys it.
When you get to your customer's house,
yeah,
are you gonna pause it or are you gonna keep talking?
I'm hoping that it just has me drop it off at the door so I just can keep speaking.
Yeah, I hope so too.
My goal is not to be good at Uber, so I don't want to be Uber successful.
Do you know I've done over 5,000 orders?
Yeah, I do. You sent me that picture. I was dubiously impressed. I'm hoping to hear back from an interview that I had last week. It was the 6th interview for that organization. In total, in the month of September, I had 15 interviews.
Hey, that's persistence.
That's a lot of interviews.
You should be an expert at interviewing.
Sometimes I feel like I kind of know what I'm doing in that department, but still, even if you've done it a lot of times, you still get a degree of the pre-interview nerves, because you always want to do well. So it's like acting, before you go on the stage, even though you've probably been on stage dozens or hundreds of times, there's still that moment where you get a little bit of butterflies before you go out on stage. So,
have you been an actor before?
Yeah, but that was back when I was in school. So when I did my bachelor's, I did a minor in theater. So
did Sean tell you what I do?
Well,
that's why Sean is
in the industry, right?
Yeah, that's why Sean wants to make a. Yeah. Sean won't spoil it now. Yeah. No. Yeah. Like my business partner right now is producing a $2 million movie called The Reunion. I'm trying to get in it. I have to submit an audition here soon.
Oh, that's incredible. That's awesome.
You guys only live 2 hours apart. And we need Rick to help Garrett with his...
That's 2 hours apart with good traffic. In reality, it's more like 4 hours apart.
it actually just kind of depends on time of day because it can be 4 or 5 hours. Yeah. It
Yes.
Can be nice.
Friday night, not the most opportune time to travel between cities on a Friday afternoon or a Friday evening. But
Yeah.
yeah, you're right. Like Monday, you could probably get away with it.
Nope, I learned that last year. 1 p.m. on a Saturday, it's 4 hours. Yep.
Okay.
I ride this with her, Sean.
What? Oh, I was just saying that Rick can help Garrett with his physiology and his body movements.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
You want to optimize my fastball?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if I can optimize your fastball, but I can try. Let's see here. Leave that to see. I can continue to talk.
I'm 6'5", 240, and really athletic. I think you might be able to make it a little better, more efficient.
Nice. Okay.
I would like to be able to throw a 100-mile-an-hour fastball until I'm 50. Sean, that's a good goal. Did you see Ichiro still throws like mid-90s?
Yeah, but in his defense, he was like designed to play baseball. Remember when his dad made him take 100 fly balls and he had to get 100 grounders and do that every day before he could go home?
Yeah. Well, my dad used to take me to, like, not that insane, but like my dad used to take me to, like, I had to do a few hundred hits every day, but not like that.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. Okay, but I'm back. I am back. Like, well, the worst part about it is that I recently went and got new contacts, and my contacts are so strong now that I'm unable to read anything up close. So now I have to have these readers with me, so it just complicates life even more. So I have my phone in one hand, my glasses in the other hand. I'm trying to navigate a conversation, drop off food, multitasking.
Tell me about the time you had agoraphobia and how you broke out of it.
Oh yeah, that was crazy. For 3 years, almost 4 years, I had significant agoraphobia. And I was essentially just kind of housebound. And how I got out of it was that I kept playing video games until about 2, 3, sometimes even 4 o'clock in the morning. And I knew that this couldn't continue. And so I had a friend who was in Italy, and he wrote me an email and told me how awesome everything was in Italy, how awesome the food is, how awesome the countryside, the architecture, how awesome the women were, and invited me to come. And I'm like, I can't go to Italy. I haven't been out of my house for 3 years. But then I thought, why can't I go? And so out of like sheer desperation to not want to continue to live the life of a video gamer and never leaving their house for anything, I was like, okay, well, this can't continue. So I'm going to radically do something. And the next day I bought tickets to Italy and flew all the way to Italy, which I think was a 17-hour flight, and spent a week. No, it's more than a week. It was almost a month. Spent almost a month in Italy and had to use public transportation the entire time I was there. And by the time I had spent a month on and off trains, on and off buses, on and off ferries, my agoraphobia was gone. Radical exposure therapy is what did it.
So you just decided one day to take your friend's advice and go visit him.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't even know why he would have even dared to invite me to go to Italy, because he knew that I hadn't been out of the house for a long time. So the reason why he would email me and inquire as to whether I'd be interested to fly halfway across the world and visit him is ridiculous if you knew me at the time. And it was a ridiculous notion to me. I was like, there's no way it's almost kind of like if you can envision this guy sitting in a pile of wrappers and playing video games and not showering for 4 days, and you're thinking that this guy somehow or another gonna pull himself together and get on an airplane and go to Italy. But that's what I did.
So
Did
wait,
you have a tinfoil hat on too?
What's that?
Did you have a tinfoil hat on too?
No. Agoraphobia has nothing to do with thinking that the government or aliens or anything. It's not to be confused with schizophrenia. Agoraphobia is the kind of almost like the end stage of general anxiety disorder, where you are so worried about your condition of anxiety or having a panic attack or being uncomfortable in an area of familiarity that your area of influence starts to shrink, or your area of comfort starts to shrink, from your state to your city, from your city to your neighborhood, to your neighborhood, to your immediate neighborhood, to your immediate neighborhood, to your house. And some people get caught up in that microcosm of the familiarity of just their house, and they don't go out and venture outside of their house. And everybody has a different obsessive thought related to why they're staying in their house. So it's not always the same, but the obsessive compulsive nature of why they are doing what they're doing is relatively the same, and the underpinning anxiety disorder is the same, but their obsessions may be different.
Where was Heidi during this time?
Going to work. Wait, is that his wife? No, I had a girl that I unfortunately dated for too long.
That is such a nice way of putting it.
Yeah. It wasn't the best relationship for either of us, but we were dating at the time, and she was working. I was kind of working too, but my office, when I first had started with agoraphobia, my office was just down the street. So remember the place, remember I think it was, I'm trying to think of what store it was. Do you remember the Rite Aid that was just up the street from the plantation?
Yes.
And there was something else across the street, and I don't know if it was a Walmart. I'm trying to think of what was across the street. I can't think of what was across the street of it. Was it Walmart? What was it? What was across the street from? There was a baseball field and a Rite Aid, and something was across the street from it. But anyways, just up the street was a shopping center, and in that shopping center was my office. So it was 5 blocks?
Yeah.
Yeah, so not very far away. So I only had to go 5 blocks, which was very comfortable for me. But then it became even smaller from that. It became just my immediate neighborhood. I'm trying to think of what is. It's on Regal Street. Oh, I think it's think it's like there's a Wendy's there.
There's a Trader Joe's there.
Wait, Sean, what city are we talking about?
Spokane.
Spokane. Yeah. Yeah, Spokane, Washington. Out in the middle of nowhere. On the eastern border. The eastern border of Washington. But there was a store, and I can't remember what the heck the store was. It was across the street. Maybe it was a Target. I don't know.
The Target was more north. I mean south.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. The Target was a little bit more north because the Target was right by Mod.
That's right. Yeah. And Cafe Rio.
Yeah. Yeah. And just south of there was another store, and I can't remember what it was, but it was something. But anyways, the little shopping strip that was across the street from that with the pizza place, and I think there was like a Joanne Fabrics or something like that.
There's always a Joanne Fabrics or a Michaels.
Yeah. Ace Hardware and a Rite Aid. But anyways, just a few blocks away was where I worked. So I really didn't have to go very far. And I did that for, like a couple years. And then when I got out of insurance, I just didn't work anymore because I was like, I don't want to leave my neighborhood. This is scary. But yeah, a flight to Italy essentially cured that. However, that being said, I had a panic attack for 17 hours, on and off and on and off and on and off. It was terrible. Cured me though. I don't have agoraphobia now, obviously. What's that?
The panic attacks can be scary. You can't really shut it off when it's happening.
Yeah, panic attacks are something sinister. I still suffer from panic disorder. In fact, I had a panic episode this afternoon that almost went full blown panic, but I was able to rope it in and kind of get through it. But at around 4 o'clock, I started going down some bad avenues, but I was able to wrangle it in. But yeah, they just come out of nowhere. Out of nowhere, they just spontaneously arrive. I hate them.
That's not good.
Right.
It's good that you know how to handle them. Sean,
Yeah, I'm just listening to you guys.
And the crazy thing is that I started with having anxiety and panic attacks back in the early 2000s, but I was able to somehow convince the FAA that I was emotionally stable enough to qualify for a student pilot's license, and they gave it to me, and I was able to go get my pilot's license, even though I had a history of anxiety. That was a win. That was a big win. I was like, yeah, the FAA believes in me. You should too. Pretty awesome. But yeah, I don't have agoraphobia anymore because I moved out of that house and moved down to Texas with a new gal that I was dating, and then from Texas I moved over and lived with Sean for half a year, and then from there I drove to LA, and then from LA moved down to San Diego, and then from San Diego bouncing around all over the place, and then ended up getting a place in Tijuana. So agoraphobia cured.
Yeah, on the next episode that you're on, we want to hear all about your car adventures, and then living in the mansion, and then.
Oh my God, it was crazy. I mean, I'm living on the streets, and I'm living in a 2008 Mercedes-Benz E350. Very, very comfortable car to drive, uncomfortable to sleep in or to live in. And I meet this gal who is a oil baroness, and she's just beyond wealthy, and she has 2 houses in Rancho Santa Fe, and he puts me up in one of the houses, but she was so mean to me and so inconsiderate that I preferred living in my car, so I broke up with her and I went back to the streets living in my car. That was preferable than dating her.
Man, yeah, that's a whole episode. Can't wait to hear that story. You know what I did want to ask you? What car do you drive now?
Now I have a Ford Fusion that is a hybrid.
Oh, that's how you can do Uber. Okay. Mystery solved.
Yeah, it's electric most of the time. And then when I get down the highway, the motor kicks in, but yeah, so it gets really great gas mileage, probably around 42 miles to the gallon. And if you were to take the mean gas mileage, but it's been a great car, and I've had it for ever since the pandemic. So I think I bought it in 2019. So just before the pandemic, I bought it.
I think that's when Brian.
Just before.
I think that's when Brian bought his Ford Fusion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you guys talk to each other about buying Ford Fusions?
No, we must have been vibing like on the same frequency, because I didn't know he had a Ford Fusion. I mean, it's not a bad car. It's got heated seats and air conditioned seats. It's got a heated steering wheel. I live in Southern California, Baja. I don't need those things, but they work. And on the nights that it is necessary, it's kind of nice to have a heated steering wheel and heated seat, because it does get cold. It does get cold in SoCal and in Baja, Mexico. Not often, but it does. So I'll turn those on, and it's got a auto steering. So it's got like this little button that it'll keep it in the lane, so you don't have to steer it. That's kind of cool.
That is cool.
It doesn't work perfectly, so I wouldn't like read a book, but yeah, I mean it's better than my Mercedes-Benz was. It has more options. Has more options than the Mercedes-Benz.
Oh my goodness. That car, I will never buy a Mercedes because of all the problems you've had with that car.
I had a lot of problems with that car. Well, I also had a lot of problems with people hitting that car.
Oh yeah, can you tell me the story of the famous person that hit that car? We gotta capture this on video, in case he ever watches it.
Yeah.
Tell Garrett, yeah.
Now his name is escaping me.
Bruce Bochy.
Yes, that's it. Yes. Yeah, he hit my car in a parking lot in Solana Beach, California, just north of San Diego, at a Starbucks. And he was kind enough to write a note and leave it on my windshield to let me know that he had smashed into my car. And so I called him up and I said, "Who is this?" Because his assistant dealt with all the problems that I had to go through to get it fixed. But when he left his number, it was his actual number. And when he answered, he's like, "I'm going to have my assistant deal with all this." And I'm like, "Who do you think you are with an assistant and everything?" I didn't know who he was until I told Sean. And he's like, "Do you know who that is?" I said, "No." I know now. Yeah.
We were hoping it would get Rick an interview with the San Francisco Giants for sports physiology, but it never manifested itself.
No, it didn't.
It's one of the best organizations in sports. I mean, because of their camaraderie, they won 3 World Series in 5 seasons.
Yeah, that would have been awesome. Could you imagine being on the staff of that team as either a nutritionist or as an exercise physiologist? I mean, it was awesome. I asked, I was like, hey, do you mind if I work for you?
Hey, Sean, has Rick ever seen any of the training clips I posted?
No. That's why you guys need to be friends on Instagram.
Oh, what's your Instagram?
Oh, don't worry, I'm posting it in the comments. I'll get you guys connected.
Rick's gonna go what the heck?
Yeah, I gotta see this. Yeah.
Hey, Garrett.
Rick, my Zercher squat's almost 400. My bench is usually 335.
Wow.
I did 270. I was doing 275 for almost 10 on the bench, and then a Zercher 375 deadlift. I just rep 405. I don't know, just basic stuff. Like that's maintenance stuff.
But what about your world record for planking?
Oh, I did. Well, I'm gonna plank tonight. Actually, I did 225 on my back for a minute 6. It beat everything I could find on the internet. I could probably go for 2 minutes, but I haven't seen anybody on the entire internet beat a minute 6 with 225 on their back.
That's crazy.
There's only one other person that I know that can do that, and his name is Worf, and he's a fictional character.
I actually worked up to 360 pounds on my back.
Wow. That is insane. Yeah, I'm nowhere even near those numbers. I mean, like, not even remotely close. But I'm also, like, in over 50 generation, so my main goal right now is not to destroy my joints.
Yeah. TB12, right? Tom Brady?
Yeah. Exactly. Hang on just a second, guys. On the other hand, my glasses are not on my face. I'm trying to read, verify orders. What a gaggle fuck.
Yeah, but you know what?
Yes, I do know what. I can't wait until one of these jobs that I interviewed for called me back and said, "Wow, we'd like to offer you a job, Dr. Young." I'll be like, "Yeah, don't answer your job."
The Uber Eats is exactly what we need to keep us humble, to teach us customer service skills. It's going to prepare us for bigger and better things. You should call us more often, and it'll help you with your business.
You guys are good guys.
We can do it together on Sundays. That's the power day. I remember texting you, "Hey, I'm at $200. Should I stop?" You're like, "No, keep going." And I made like $300 that day.
That was awesome.
Because you can just go for 12 hours until it shuts off.
Does it go for 12?
Yeah.
I didn't know what the limit was.
I don't know what the limit is on DoorDash.
Isn't DoorDash also owned by Uber Eats?
No, they're separate.
Oh, because when I looked at it, it said on the app, it said Uber Industries.
That's weird. Because Uber Eats owns Postmates.
Oh, Postmates, that's what it was. My bad.
What the heck is Postmates?
Yeah, that's like Uber Eats.
And then there's Grubhub.
Yeah, Grubhub here is the best.
Okay, I'm going to end the podcast, but I want to keep talking for a little bit. So, hey, all listeners, I'm going to drop Garrett's and Ric's Instagrams in the comments. Thanks for listening. Thank you, Jen, for doing the intro. Ric, I didn't play your intro because that'd be weird for you introducing yourself. So I'll play yours next time. And that's all for tonight. Thanks.